didn't start it. Is this a marketing ploy for somebody, for ShamWow or something?
How many people do you think actually went out and bought brooms? Probably a bunch.
Big brooms beyond it.
Well, hopefully they had maybe a broom sitting in the closet somewhere. They didn't have to go
I
buy
guarantee
them.
that their house didn't have one.
You're right.
Whoa.
We did have one.
Yeah. We got a broom. I mean, it's not a good broom, but we have one.
Wow. So, hey, you know what? I'm going to transition into a football thing. Real quick.
AJ.
That's what they try to teach you in broadcasting school. You got to transition out of these things into some actual football talk. And we have, Pittsburgh contingent here and guys that grew up diehard Pittsburgh Steelers, Penguins, everything. They're huge fans. Now, Kevin Colbert, the GM for the Pittsburgh Steelers, says, we don't think Ben is at the end of the road. My question is, did anyone think he was at the end of the road? He has 2 years left on his deal. He signed a 2-year extension this past offseason before he got hurt in the regular season.
A lot of money.
They're going to pay him upwards of $30 million for these next 2 seasons. Of course you don't think he's at the end of his road. What do you mean? You wouldn't have signed him then. Is he saying like once he's healthy, he's going to be fine and he's going to be the Ben of old? Is that what this statement is about?
Yes, I think it pertains to that because a lot of people were questioning after the surgery if he was going to be able to play again. And I think basically he was saying that the surgery, people are making too big of a deal of it.
What was the surgery exactly?
It was Tommy John.
Was it Tommy John on his elbow?
I thought it was Tommy John. People told me it's not Tommy John, but with all of our knowledge, it's Tommy John, which people come back from stronger in the MLB.
People come back from every single kind of surgery now. Like back in the day, an ACL in 1979 or a complete repair was like a guy might not make it back. He may not play ever again.
I'm absolutely thrilled about this news though because, and Connor can relate to this, like when you've had your quarterback for 15 years and you don't have to worry about who's going to be under center, there's nothing like that feeling. And I didn't even realize it until this year when he got hurt and you then have to deal with 3 or 4 backups and you have no idea how they're going to be. It's a tough world in the NFL.
You need to know how lucky you are.
Yeah.
That you take it for granted. Like
I'm sure.
Patriots, Tom Brady, Packers with Brett Favre into Aaron Rodgers.
Absurd.
Everywhere that has a longtime QB, the Saints and Drew Brees. I mean, the Chargers and what they had in Phil Rivers, whether he won a Super Bowl or not, he still played at an elite level for a lot of years. So people don't take time, I guess, to understand how special it is, how you don't relish it, I guess. Live in the moment. Enjoy today. That's what you need to do when you have these stud quarterbacks.
So the reason this is in the news cycle, I think, is because Ben's now 37 years old, and he was drafted in the same class as Phillip and Eli, who both basically fell off a cliff the past couple of years. And Colbert even said, we don't expect Ben to follow that same path. We think he's still got it.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, and I think Ben should be fine. If he's healthy, Ben's going to be Ben. Don't you think? Like, what would stop him? As long as they can have decent O-line play in front of him, I think they're going to be all right. And they have weapons. You got Juju out there still on the edge. And I don't know. I mean, let's see what happens, but I don't think people should be super worried about Ben. Are you, as a Steelers guy, are you worried?
Well, hello there. Utilize the promo code PAYTHEBILLS and get $20 off your first order from SeatGeek. Now, back to the magic.
Not super worried, but there's always that hesitancy of like, okay, let's see, because if he comes back and he's not 100%, they do have weapons, but Juju struggled last year. Connor struggled to remain healthy. So there's no one else really to help carry that team if he's not the guy doing it.
So who's his backup, though? Are they going to go get a veteran backup?
No, I would like them to, but it doesn't sound like it.
So Colbert also said that they are fine with the quarterbacks on their roster, which is Ben, Duck Hodges, Mason Rudolph, and JT Barrett.
JT's with the Steelers right now.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily – you know what? I do agree.
Should they get a veteran quarterback? This is an argument that people make in Green Bay a lot about Aaron. Like, should they have a veteran presence behind him, which they haven't had since a guy like Matt Flynn was there.
If Mariota wanted to come in, I wouldn't hate it.
But you got to pay how much you got to pay Mariota
$3
to be your
million.
backup? No, you got to pay him a little more
That's
than
the
that.
other problem. They don't have any cap space. So they have to do some major reworking. But I would agree with bringing in a veteran if they can make it work, because you look in the past, it's worked for them before. Charlie Batch came in and won a couple games for them. Mike Vick even back in the day. Byron Leftwich. They've always succeeded when they've had a veteran backup because Ben gets hurt a lot. Physical guy, takes a lot of hits. So if they bring in a veteran backup, that's a lot more reassuring than what we saw last year from Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, maybe they're happy with their quarterback situation behind Ben because they have to be, because they don't really have any option. Like, Ben's making over $30 million for these next 2 years. We don't have a ton of cap space. We can't afford to bring in a veteran backup and pay him $6 or $7 million a year.
No,
You
because
just can't waste
this
that money.
offseason they had to pay Bud Dupree too if they want to keep him, and Javon Hargrave, who's on their D line. Because the defense right now, as for last year, is the strength, which hasn't been the case for the last 10 years.
Yeah. So the Steelers, are they back in it? Do they have a
Oh,
chance
yeah.
to win the division next year and to make a run in the playoffs?
If Ben doesn't shave, I'm going to probably put my mortgage on it. If he does shave, I'm going to be a little hesitant. But, I mean, they're obviously back in the hunt next year.
Why? Just because Ben's healthy?
Yeah.
You don't think the reign is over? Mike Tomlin, it's pretty impressive what he was able to do last
He's never
year.
had a losing season.
Never. Ever.
No.
Well, they do things right from the top down, from the ownership down. Like the Steelers have been like a rock of consistency forever. And how many head coaches have they had?
Three.
I mean, that's unreal. Look around the league. That doesn't really happen. So it's pretty impressive what they've been able to do. And I don't see them going anywhere. I just don't know how good they're going to be.
I compare that, like them and the Packers. Like the Packers in the NFC, I figured was basically the Steelers of the AFC. Like that organization is run very similar as far as keeping coaches, having good quarterbacks, doing it the right way.
Yeah. I mean, the Packers don't have an owner, which
No.
makes it a little different. I mean, they have a board
Well, they have
of
a lot of
directors.
owners. Ty's an owner. He's not here.
Oh, yeah, Ty's an owner. What does that get for him? What is
Were
that?
you nervous
$250
doing a show with your boss
piece of
all
paper
week?
get?